Thanks so much, Dave. Well, for women whose time of the month is extremely unpleasant, an ablation procedure could be the option. Joining me right now is Dr. Rhett from Rhett Women's Center. How are you, Dr. Rhett?
Fine, Laura. How are you today?
Always great to see you. And we're talking about some of the same things that all women seem to deal with. I shouldn't say all, maybe 90% of them. But first of all, ablation. What is that, and what are we talking about?
Ablation is a disruption of the inside line of the uterus to stop or greatly reduce the periods. And there are 3 or 4 ways to do it. The best way, I think, now is called a NovaSure procedure. It's the one we use at our office most of the time. We've been doing this for about 4 years. Clearly, 1/3 of women over the age of 35 have period problems that affect their lifestyle. And there are lots of ways to fix it. Ablation is a permanent procedure meant to replace hysterectomy.
And I would say that, you know, coming back, the recovery time is amazing compared to what hysterectomies used to be.
Well, hysterectomy now, you can hurry and work real hard after hysterectomy and be back to about pretty much normal, somewhat normal activities after 3 to 4 weeks, and full activities after about 6. With an ablation, you're back to normal activities usually the next day.
Yeah, because someone that's very active, that likes to work out, that likes to run, things like that, that could really just mess up your whole lifestyle.
Absolutely. It takes 6 weeks before you can really be back to full, go to the gym, do all the things you want to do, run, you know, all of that. And with ablation, it's usually the next day or the day after that. Certainly you can go back to work the day after an ablation.
And I also want to point out how safe it is, Dr. Rhett. You all have an accredited operating room, and the cost effectiveness is amazing compared to what it would be if you had to go to the emergency room.
If you have to go to the hospital, this procedure is over $10,000. In our office, it's under $2,500. And so that, I mean, that's a 75% savings. I mean, a fourth. And that means somebody's copay or somebody's deductible or somebody's, you know, what they have to pay to have the procedure done at our office is a minuscule part of what they would pay to go to do the same thing at the hospital.
Speaking of copays and deductibles, how do we know if you take our insurance, or if we have questions about insurance? I guess just call your office?
If you call the office, we have everybody there knows exactly what we do. There's almost no insurance that we don't take. But we can find out what, you know, you could have, there could be 3 different same kind of named insurance. Blue Cross Blue Shield might have 5 different policies, and one of them is a $50 copay for the procedure, and the other one is a $600 copay or deductible or something. And so the only way we can find out is to look at a particular policy and see how that policy is paid.
And NovaSure is a very permanent procedure, but of course you offer all kinds of different things and all kinds of treatments that we can use for temporary.
Well, we need to make a diagnosis as to why the problem's there. Sometimes somebody will have a growth on the inside line of the uterus. Removing that growth will bring their periods back to very tolerable. Sometimes we'll find that there's a precancerous lesion, in which case you'd want to go ahead and have a hysterectomy if that was there. But if there's not a precancerous lesion, there's not some specific growth, you really are through with childbearing, then NovaSure ablation is really a great choice.
And the NovaSure procedure and all your procedures you do in your Mount Pleasant office, right?
We do.
Okay.
We set up one accredited operating room, and that's a very tedious and an expensive procedure. But we did it because we thought it gave us an advantage and our patients a great advantage economically and as far as convenience goes.
Yeah, if you just need a doctor's office though and a doctor's appointment, you can go see them over in their Georgetown office as well.
Right. Either Dr. Smith or myself are in the Georgetown office once a week.
Wonderful. Well, Dr. Rhett, it's always a pleasure to see you. They're either on Long Point Road or South Fraser Street in Georgetown. We really appreciate you coming.
Thank you very much, Laura.
We'll see you next time.
It's always great to talk with you. Okay.
All right. Well, being a great leader could mean maybe tooting your own horn sometimes. Coming up next, the Center for Women is here with some tips. Plus, if you've read a lot of good things about McDonald's, you might want to question the source. The fast food chain's accused of some not so honest manipulation of some of those reviews. Stay with us.